Everyone, my name is Dan Gutekanst, D-A-N-G-U-T-E-K-A-N-S-T. I'm the superintendent of the Needham Public Schools. I am a member of the METCO board, and I'm also a superintendent who's proud to have 5,700 students involved in the METCO program, Needham resident students and 180 Boston resident students. All of them together represent our commitment to our students of color, particularly our black students at this time. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank in particular our superintendents, our METCO directors, and members of the METCO board who are here. All of us are here to stand and show our shared commitment to the METCO community, our students, their families, and we wanted to today have a few folks speak. In a moment, I will introduce our CEO, Millie. She will also then, after she speaks, introduce Jon Sills, the superintendent of Bedford, and we will wrap up the program. Then Barbara Hamilton, the METCO director in Lexington, will speak, and then a METCO board member, Mabel, will also speak to kind of close us out. All right, so that's the order, and I will ask our speakers to make sure, as I did, that you say your name, and if you're lucky, spell it. I was able to spell it correctly this time for me, so I'll pass that on to you. Thanks for being here. Millie.
Hello, my name is Millie Arbaje-Thomas, M-I-L-L-Y-A-R-B-A-J-E-Thomas, T-H-O-M-A-S. I am the president and CEO of METCO Incorporated. I want to take this opportunity to welcome those of you here today, the district superintendents, the METCO directors, the METCO staff, the board of directors, the headquarters staff, and everyone, and some parents that I also see here today. A special thank you to the city councilor, Ricardo Arroyo, who made it possible overnight for us to use the space even though the space was closed. So I have been on this job for a little bit over 2 years. There were two words that inspired me and motivated me to take this job: movement and change. To be part of a movement that is changing the way that people think, the way that people see others, the way that people create change, the way that people give opportunity. This is the aim that METCO tries to achieve every day, but that doesn't mean that we have it right and that there isn't a whole lot to do. I turn today to the leaders of the 33 communities in Massachusetts where METCO exists. I join you, my friends and my colleagues and my allies, in asking you for a radical change in business as usual. A radical mandate that each and every day you will work on creating an equal, just, welcoming, and safe environment for our students of color. That you understand the power that you hold in your hands in the positions that you were giving, and that power can redefine how your school community raises the next generation of our youth. For the students of color that you are educating, are you sure that you have done everything you can to make them feel safe and included? For the white students that you are educating, are you sure that they are growing up to be compassionate, accepting human beings, that they understand that differences are to be valued, and that there is beauty in all human beings? Do they understand the injustices that came before us and those that we are living now, especially in the black community? And are those students breaking apart from the vicious cycle of racism, bigotry, bias, stereotypes, and discrimination? Because if this is not happening, then we are drastically failing at creating a brighter future for us all. I stand with you today in solidarity, in support of our beloved, cherished, and vibrant black community, to let everyone know that they are beautiful. Brave, smart, compassionate individuals who should never ever have to ask for the permission to breathe or live. My fellow METCO districts, I urge you not to just sign on the dotted line that you are participating in the school and supporting a school integration program, but that you stand behind your signature, that you roll up your sleeves and get prepared to do real action and do the hard work. Hold yourselves your community, your staff, your suburban students, and their families accountable to do what is right to make the society a more welcoming and inclusive place to live and thrive. You can't just say that you do school integration. You need to do school integration. It won't be easy, but I know that together we can do it. We all know that education shapes people's values and beliefs. Let's make sure we don't lose the opportunity to fulfill the job and mandate that we were all given to leave no child behind and educate and support our children. I am hopeful today in this joint gathering that it will provide the necessary movement to make the changes that are desperately needed. We know that METCO is absolutely and unequivocally a major part of the solution to dismantle racism in America. I vow to be in this journey with you every step of the way, because any journey that changes people's minds and softens someone's heart is worth taking. To our Black community, I want you to know that we hear you, we see you, we support you, we mourn with you, we love you, and we will rise up and fight until this nonsense is no more. In closing, I turn to my colleagues and say, we can do better, we must do better, and we will do better. Thank you. So I would like to call now the Superintendent of Bedford Public Schools, who is a member of our Board of Directors, Jon Sills.
Jon Sills, Jonsills, Superintendent of the Bedford Public Schools and a member of the METCO Board of Directors. It is an honor to be here today representing the 33 superintendents of METCO districts. We are here today in a show of solidarity with our colleagues, our METCO directors, but most importantly with our students, with our families, and with our colleagues, all of our Black and brown family members. It is so critical that leaders take a stand against systemic racism, whether it is expressed in its meanest form as state murder or in its insidious form of educational inequity. Racism in all of its forms is inherently violent. We do violence to kids when we have inequitable education. It impacts their psyches, it impacts their sense of themselves, it impacts their futures. Leaders in all domains, whether it's town managers, police chiefs, corporate presidents, and certainly educators, need to step forward at this time and follow the incredible examples of our rank and files who have taken to the streets in the most profound, multiracial, sustained protests against systemic racism and state murder that we've ever seen. I, for one, support that strongly. I want to lend my voice and my body to that work. I do want to say something about hope, however. To me, education at its core is an act of love, and it is an act of hope. And in recent days, we've seen some incredible examples of hope. Whether it's the peaceful protests, or whether it's images of policemen taking a knee or embracing protesters. And I hope that all of our children of color, all of our students of color, all of our families, all of our colleagues can take courage and a sense of strength from those courageous acts. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Hamilton. That's Hamilton. I am the director in the Lexington Public School System. I also serve as the president of the METCO Directors Association. The statement I'm reading is on behalf of that association. The METCO Directors Association, better known as the MDA, was founded in 1975. It provides educational leadership in the areas of school desegregation, academic achievement for students of color, and multicultural education and professional development in white suburban schools who are part of the METCO district. The primary objective of the MDA is to challenge the forces which obstruct the achievement and development and educational opportunities for children of color. It is for this reason we lend our voice and join others throughout the country to express our heartache and anger over the continued systemic institutionalized racism in our country. The persistent exposure to environmental trauma that stems from a racist society has resulted in the eruption of anger, hurt, protests that we are witnessing today. The MDA stands unified in its resolve to challenge the unjust, brutal killings of African American men and women. These stories in modern day lynchings are all too familiar to the African American community. It must stop today. Individuals who engage in excessive force because of the color of one's skin must be held accountable and swiftly brought to justice. Our police forces, healthcare systems, and educational institutions must immediately engage in evaluation, strategic planning, and professional development to ensure equitable, culturally responsive practices and policies are implemented in their institutions and do it forthwith. Our governmental officials must ensure equitable funding and resources for all students and educational programs. We must also begin focusing on the healing engagement for the most vulnerable. We strongly encourage our youth, young adults, and communities to give voice to your hurt in peaceful and constructive ways. We are here to assist you in any way we can. The MDA will continue to collaborate with our school districts, our white allies, and we will also continue to support our students as we are on the front line working with our children of all colors, to remain engaged in school and to comfort parents who fear on a daily basis for the safety of their children. We will continue to offer forums, educational and professional development to address the issues of racism and to counsel those who seek and need our services. We want to stress that the educational system must become an antidote to structural racism. Finally, we extend our condolences and prayers to the families of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mabel Reid-Wallace, M-A-B-E-L-R-E-I-D-W-A-L-L-A-C-E. I am the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors of METCO Incorporated, and I'd like to now give a brief historical perspective. And so I read this poem, Emmett Till. Till the soil, Emmett, unleash the voices of the souls so longingly dormant. Release their cries for justice, and let others heed their call. Rise up and till the earth. Create a new surface of equity and humanity, a surface which will breathe new life into our world of darkness. New soil that will become a new way of living, not existing in a world of fear and seemingly disguised oppression. Till the soil, Emmett. Bring the souls to the party of reform. Breathe life into Medgar, Martin, Marcus, and Malcolm. Speak their truth to the powers that be, but are no longer powerful. Lift off the veil that has too long shrouded our thinking of who holds the power. Guide this uprising into a new platform of empathy, understanding, and true peace. Remove the wicked so that they may no longer walk among us. Let them languish under the newly overturned earth. the earth to which you were all sent to rest in peace. Till the soil, Emmett. How can one rest in peace when one's soul has been assaulted? How can one find peace when they are faced with madness as their last view? For too long, peace has been the reward of the oppressor, not the oppressed. Peace that was not earned, but stolen and privately owned. Owned and cultivated as wealth that we have been taught to covet. Teach us to reject this notion, as it is a false reality, a reality based in greed and white supremacy that has permeated our soil. Till the soil, Emmett. No justice, no peace. Thank you, and now we'd like to just play this version of a song, I Rise Up by Andra, to close this gathering. And thank you all for giving us this opportunity to voice our solidarity. Thank you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Ooh.